Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Carter and I'm the creator behind Loose Leaf Co. Today we're making this romance-inspired book coaster, so whether you're crafting, reading, or just hanging out, I'm really glad you're here. So before we get started, I wanted to share my coaster of the day. Today I'm using my Jar of Hearts mug rug coaster situation. This design is available in my Etsy shop and I thought it fit today's romance-inspired theme pretty well. So there's that. All right, now let's get into today's project. My plan is to use this burgundy yarn for like this outline, and then this light pink yarn for filling in the cover and stuff, and then this cream color for the pages. So we're just gonna start with the outline and then go from there. And then we can start punch needling. I do need to get some yarn out though. So my punch needle is threaded, and now we're just going to begin going around our coaster to give our book a nice outline. So now we've gone around our outline once, and we're just gonna do it one more time with this dark burgundy color. So now I'm gonna go across this middle part and down to really give it that final shape. Give it some extra definition. Okay, so now we're done with the outline. I'm just gonna cut this burgundy yarn. And we're gonna move on to the light pink to fill in this cover portion. Just gonna get some off real quick. It doesn't really matter which order you do the cover versus the pages in. I guess I just wanted to get the larger portion done first, so that then, like, all of that, after all that, all I have to do is the pages, so it won't feel like as much after I'm done with the cover. At least that's my thinking. We'll see if that actually works out that way. Okay, have my pink yarn, and now I'm just gonna thread my punch needle. Okie doke. Now I'm ready to begin punch needling the cover portion of our book with this light pink yarn. Here we go. So right now we're just filling in our cover with this light pink color. Granted, it is quite a large area. I'm going to use the same method I usually do and just go around the outside until we get all the way to the center. So I'm basically just going to make a bunch of rectangles. I would say that punch needle, like many other fiber arts, is definitely a labor of love, especially depending on like what sort of projects you make. But I think that just ties even more into the fact that we're making like a romance inspired book today. But I find it really relaxing, and I like that I can make so many different things with it. I also feel like punch needle is a little bit more forgiving than just like drawing and art in general. Because it mainly relies on like large shapes. We're definitely making some progress, as slow as it may be. Also, the last couple times I've gone live, I haven't, like, when I watch it back, I haven't been able to actually hear the punch needling. I'm not sure why. But hopefully I can figure that out. Oops. We're definitely making progress. I feel like I just keep saying that. I think we're almost about halfway done with this part of the cover. Sometimes I can go a little faster, but then I find that my punches aren't quite as consistent. And obviously, the goal is consistency and like everything looks clean once I'm done. So I've been trying to work on that. But so far I think this one's going pretty well. So after this pink cover, we're gonna fill the pages in with like the cream color. And I think that'll really fit the romance vibe. Before this, I was debating filling in the whole spine with the dark burgundy color or just doing the outline. Because another version I did is like a brown. And it doesn't fill the spine in, it just did the outline and I didn't fill the entire spine. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I should adjust that and fill the entire spine in with the darker color, give it a little more dimension. But let me know. Hopefully some point in the near future I can figure out a good angle to film these in. So I feel like punch needle is usually pretty satisfying. But we shall see. Guess I'll just have to do some research on that. So this is the largest portion to fill on this entire coaster. So it definitely is taking a while, but once we're done with this, the rest of the coaster should fly by because everything else is small. We just have to get through this part first. So we're almost done with this portion of it. Just a few more passes. Then we can take a look at what it's looking like on the other side. See if we have any potential gaps or spots to fill really quick before we move on to the next section. Okie doke. So I'm just gonna pull this out, cut our yarn, and then we can go ahead and flip this over, take a look at how our book is looking. So I think it's looking pretty good. I did end up punching through like a loop right here, but I can just trim that, it'll be perfectly fine. So now we're gonna move on to this part of the cover and see how it looks. Here we go. Now the tricky part is gonna be trying to get this back in the same spot that I had it before flipping it over. But I think that's pretty close. Now I think I'm actually gonna try and hold underneath here to get clean edges around this spine, because I did notice a few spots on the front where I punched through some existing loops, and it's no big deal, I can fix that, but it does make it a little bit less clean looking. So for now, I'm just gonna hold around the spine. Right now, I'm just gonna hold around the outline to try and get a really clean cover color back here, so that I don't have to clean up anything afterwards. Tricky part's gonna be doing this on this side when I can't really see. We're just gonna do our best. Here we go. See what happens. It's not great. Okay. I guess I'll just come around the back. Okay, that should be good. Now we're just gonna fill in this. Then we can move on to our cream color for the pages. So see, this is why I wanted to start with that big chunk to fill in first, because now this feels like nothing. Now we're done filling in this section. We can cut our yarn, take our light pink yarn out of our punch needle, and then we just grab the cream color, grab a little bit off of the skein really quick, hopefully really quick. Trying not to hit the camera. But this is our last color. Okay, so I got some cream yarn off. Now I'm just gonna make a little pile of it to make sure it doesn't get knotted or anything like that. Now we can finish filling the last part of our book. I'm gonna try to do the same thing I did with this portion and just kind of hold the loops on the back side a little bit to try and get a more clean outline. But we'll see how easily achievable that is. I feel like sometimes I can do it without holding the loops on the back and it'll be like perfectly fine. But then other times I punch through existing loops and I don't know, I'm still trying to figure that out. But for now, I'll just hold the loops on the back to keep everything nice and clean. Just really quick, I want to check. Okay, so that last one went through. Let me see if I can easily get that fixed. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now we're all set with our outline. And we can just fill in the rest of the pages part of our book with the cream color yarn. Then we'll be all ready to go. And this part shouldn't take too long because we did the larger fill section first. Okay, just a couple more passes and we should be good to go with this one. Okay, we're coming down to the last little bit here. Okay, there we go. That was our last punch. We're just gonna trim our yarn and then we can flip this over and see what everything's looking like. Okie doke. There we go. There's our romance inspired book coaster.